नमस्ते, प्रणाम, गीता ध्यान। ॐ पार्थाय प्रतिबोधितां भगवता नारायणेन स्वयं व्यासेन ग्रथितां पुराणमुनिना मध्ये महाभारतम् अद्वैतामृतवर्षिणीं भगवतीम् अष्टादशाध्यायिनीम् अम्ब त्वामनुसन्दधामि भगवद्गीते भवद्वेषिणीम्। O Bhagavad Gita, with which Lord Narayana himself gave enlightenment to Arjuna. The ancient sage Vyasa included it in the Mahabharata. O Goddess, showerer of the nectar-like knowledge of non-dualism contained in your 18 chapters. O my affectionate mother, the destroyer of rebirth, I meditate upon thee. Krishna Vandana. वसुदेवसुतं देवं कंसचाणूरमर्दनं देवकी परमानन्दं कृष्णं वन्दे जगद्गुरुम्. Son of Vasudeva, the slayer of Kansa and Chanur, extreme delight for Mother Devaki, O Lord Krishna, the supreme teacher of the universe, my salutations to you. Srimad Bhagavad Gita, Dhyana Yoga, the 6th Adhyaya, the Yoga of Meditation, and today is 33rd verse. Earlier in our previous reading, Sri Krishna had told us that the ultimate gain that a yogi gains on this path of Dhyana Yoga, of having understood, having realized oneness with all. And for such a yogi, his pain or pleasure becomes a universal pain or pleasure. Atma paina sarvatra, atma aupamyena sarvatra, samam pashyati yaha Arjuna, sukham va yadi va dukkham, whether pain or pleasure he sees, samam pashyati, saha yogi paramaha patat. That yogi Mataha. That yogi is considered to be the most supreme, who realizes his pain and pleasure with everywhere, with all others, and Atma Aupamyena, that as if his pain, his pleasure is pain and pleasure of one and all. And that is how Sri Krishna stopped his narration on the Dhyana Yoga as such. What a person is likely to get if he follows, practices the art of meditation. If he practices meditation on the self by controlling the mind and focusing it, by controlling the mind and senses, using that faculty of discrimination and dispassion, these two faculties of the intellect. With the help of these two faculties, when a person fixes his mind on the self, no other thoughts, mind not going out anywhere, then it is only on the self, and that is where the person, the yogi, realizes that this little self is just like very much a part and parcel of the Supreme Self. This little Atman, Jivatman, is the part and parcel of the Paramatman. And then he gets the tremendous joy, that bliss, Sukham Paramam. That's what that yogi experiences. And it doesn't end there. Having realized oneness with the Supreme, there is no distinction between me and others then. Then for that yogi, all the universe is part of that yogi. All the universe is part of that Supreme Self. All the universe is very much part of me. They are no different. All those beings which are there in the universe, the sentient and the insentient, it is the Lord who has filled this entire creation the same Lord in me and all others in the same Lord, having reached that stage, then Sri Krishna tells us in this 32nd shloka that he reaches that stage where all his experiences as experienced by his self are the experiences of others, the pain and pleasure, having established himself as the one with all his experiences, all his pain and pleasure, he becomes one with everyone else. And then, like that example that Sri Ramakrishna had given, that for Yogi, the landlord who had bitten him and his beloved disciple who is tending him, they are the same. Now, Sri Krishna has told this to Arjuna. Now Arjuna has got it out. He says, now this 33rd verse, and therefore 32nd verse, Sri Krishna specifically addressed Arjuna that Arjuna, this is what you are going to get, this is what a yogi is going to get. And there he stopped his teaching for the moment. Now Arjuna Uvacha. Arjuna said, Arjuna Uvacha. Yoyam yogastvaya proktaha samyena madhusudana etasyaham na pashyami chanchalatva sthitim sthiram. Now Arjun has his own doubts. Well, my beloved friend, philosopher and guide Sri Krishna has taught me, told me so much about the Dhyana Yoga. How to sit for meditation, how to control the mind, how to fix the mind with a single-minded focus on this self, getting rid of all the associations with the external world. Fine, he has told, but now he has got it out. And being a good student and being a beloved disciple, being the closest friend, he doesn't shy away from asking his doubts. So Arjuna, on behalf of all of us, he is putting this doubt to Sri Krishna. Yoyam yogastvaya proktaha. Yaha ayam yogaha proktaha. By you, whatever is told to me, whatever you have taught me so far, samyena madhusudana. Samyena is by equanimity of me and others, by equanimity of pleasure and pain, by equanimity of everyone in this universe. They're all same part and parcel of the great principle of the great Lord. All this you have taught to me, O Madhusudana, O destroyer of Madhu, the demon. Now, Arjuna has to fight a war. Arjuna had got despondent from seeing his cousins and friends and relatives in front of him, and he has become Vishad. He had got into that stage of Vishad, and therefore he had decided not to wage war and to pump him up, to boost his confidence, to boost his morale, to boost his the he-manship, to boost his warrior spirit. Sri Krishna has started telling him all these teachings in the Bhagavad Gita. The objective is finally Arjuna should catch hold of his bow and wage the war. So now Arjuna is referring to him as Madhusudana. Arjuna is referring to Sri Krishna as Madhusudana, that the destroyer, the killer of that wretched devil Madhu. That is how Sri Krishna had vanquished that devil. So Sri Arjuna is addressing Sri Krishna as Madhusudana in this particular verse. That you tell me, O Madhusudana, you tell me, O destroyer of the Madhu, that you have taught me all this equanimity, yoga of equanimity. All beings in one, me in all beings, the Lord in all beings, the Lord in me, all this you have taught. Etasyaham na pashyami. But etasya is its. Aham na pashyami. I do not see what? Chanchalastva sthitim sthiram. I don't see any steadiness. I don't see any kind of firmity, the firmness in this chanchalatvat, in this restlessness. I don't see any firmness. I don't see anything, stability because of this restlessness that I am having. I don't see the purpose of your teaching. I don't see the stability of your teaching of this equanimity because of my restlessness. Now, Arjuna frankly tells him, this yoga of equanimity taught by you, O Madhusudana, I do not see any stability in it. I do not see any worth in it for that matter. I mean, he wanted, maybe possibly he wanted to use those harsh words. I do not see any worth in it, but mildly he has used this word of na pashyami sthitim sthiram. Sthiram, I don't see any steadiness in that teaching because of restlessness. Chanchalatva sthitim. My condition is right now I am very restless. I do not see any logic in whatever you have taught me on this equanimity. Because of the dispersed and restless nature of mind, its being collected in equanimity is not possible. Arjuna is extremely restless. Arjuna is extremely distressed with the thought of fighting with his friends. Now suddenly he has that love for his enemies also, although they are all his enemies, although they are evil, although they are wicked, although they are wretched, but suddenly that love for Swajana has cropped up in his mind. He has got deluded, he is restless. And therefore Arjuna says that in this state of restlessness, I don't see any utility of the knowledge that you have taught to me. I don't see any stability of that knowledge of equanimity that you have taught to me. Yoyam yogastvaya proktaha samyena. Samyena is that equanimity. Oh Madhusudana, whatever that knowledge of equanimity, of seeing one in all, you have taught me, you have told me, I am not very much convinced because of my restlessness. Now, Arjuna has put forward his own problem again to Arjuna. What you say is perfectly wonderful. After all, you are Yogeshwara. You are Madhusudana. You want me to fight this war, giving all these teachings, giving all these logical teachings, but to me they are still illogical as far as I am concerned, because I am very restless. I don't find any stability in your teachings of this seeing one in all. I don't see any use of that. So with very frankness, Arjuna has brought out his the concern of how to accept, of how to understand, of how to believe and how to practice whatever Sri Krishna has taught me. So, being the representative of the entire humanity, Arjuna has put forth this doubt in front of Sri Krishna in this 33rd shloka. We will see next what more Arjuna has to tell Sri Krishna on this doubt of being restless and why he feels that Sri Krishna's teaching of equanimity doesn't have any merit at that point of time as Arjuna felt. So that we will see in our next reading. As of now, Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya. Sri Krishna Arpanamastu. Jai Sri Ram Krishna. Jai Thakur. Jai Ma. Jai Swamiji.